x squared plus 6x plus 4. And we're told to complete it or factorize it by completing the square. So step 1, group the x terms. Step 2, insert the magic number. So it becomes x squared plus 6x plus the bracket for the box for the bracket, the magic number, plus 4 minus now the box for the magic number. Remember, add it on the inside, subtract it from the outside. Step 3, find the magic number. How do we find the magic number? Take this number, carry it to the side, split it in 2, and then make a square of it. If you want to, you can work it down. 6 divided by 2, that's 3. So you want 3 squared, which is 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is just 9. You can do it that way as well. So the magic number is actually 9. So we can rewrite this with the magic number inside. X squared plus 6x plus 9, plus 4 minus 9. Notice that we added the magic number on the inside and we're subtracting the magic number from the outside. Great. We can now, for step 4, factorize the brackets as a perfect square. How do we do that? We square root the first term. So the square root cancels the square, leaving us with just x. So we're going to have x here. We're keeping the sign on this b term, which is a positive. So we'll put a positive. And then we're going to square root this last term here. The square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 is 9. So it becomes 3 here. Remember, we're making it a square. And we're factorizing it as a perfect square. So we must end up having a square at the end. Great. Now we have a positive 4 and we're taking away 9. We're going to be left with a negative 5. And that's it. So let us check the answer that we get from the algebraic tiles to make sure that we're on the right track. Well, what do you know? X squared, or x plus 3 all squared minus 5. So it works. Just remember, to find the magic number, take this number to the side, split it in 2, make a square of it. If you want to work it down, you can. That's an option. Remember, you add the magic number on the inside and you subtract it from the outside. To factorize as a perfect square, square root this number or this term, get x. Keep the sign of this term positive, square root this term, and you get 3. Make a square of it, you just work out the back part, and that's it. So I'm going to show you how to complete the square using algebraic methods. Good. Besides the algebra tiles. So my first recommendation is to group the x terms. That means everything that have on an x in a bracket. Just like that. Right? And we're going to rewrite the problem like this. We're going to insert what I would call a magic number. Good. So to insert the magic number, I would have to plus a little box, close the bracket, and if we're going to insert it, we're going to add it inside the brackets, and we're also going to take it from outside the bracket. So notice that inside the bracket, the magic number was added, and outside the bracket over here, the magic number was subtracted. What is that magic number? How is it that we're going to get that magic number? Okay, the magic number is the number that magically just turns whatever the expression is into a square. So to get the magic number, you'd have to take this number, carry it all the way to the side. What we're going to do with it, we are going to split it in two, just like we did on the tiles. So we split it in two, and we're going to make a square of it. So we split it in two a while ago, and we're making a square of it, just like that. So this is the magic number. So I'm going to insert this here and here. How is it that we're going to do this? Let me show you. So we're going to have x squared plus 4x plus this 4 over 2 all squared. So I'm writing it like this for a specific reason. And then I'm going to add to that 7 minus the same thing, 4 over 2 all squared. Great. So what we're going to do, we're going to focus on the bracket now and factorize it as a perfect square. To factorize it as a perfect square, look at this. Find the square root of this. So the square root of this term becomes really x. And then we'll put back the sign that's in front here. So this was positive, so this will be positive. I'm going to square root this term. So once I square root a square, this cancels that, leaving us with just 4 over 2. And I'm going to close that and turn it into a square. So I just factorized it as a perfect square. But we're not finished with over this side. So we're going to have to add 7 minus, and we have to work out all of this. 4 squared is 4 times 4. And 2 squared is 2 times 2. So this part works out to be 16 over 4. And I'm going to just rewrite this to keep it a little clean. If you know what I mean. Just make it look nice and pretty. Good. And what I can do here is to just simplify. So 4 into 4, 1. 4 into 16, 4. So it becomes 7 minus 4 over that side. And I can simplify this. 4 divided by 2 is just 2. So I'm going to have x plus 2 all squared. And then I can simplify this some more. X plus 2 all squared. And 7 take away 4. That's just a positive 3. So that's the final answer. Let's check if this is what we had when we were completing the square using the algebraic tiles. Yeah, what do you know? It's the same thing. But the tiles make it a lot easier. The only problem is we won't always have tiles in the exam. So, once we can come up with the magic number, to get the magic number, you take the coefficient on the x term, carry it to the side, split it in two, just like how we do the tiles, and form a square out of it. We take that and insert it inside the bracket by adding it, and then we also subtract it from the outside. Just like when we took the numbers from out of the 7 and, sorted it with the algebraic tiles. After that, we can just work it through, right? We try to make a square of the brackets by finding the square root of the x squared term, which is just x, because the square root cancels the square actually, leaving us with just x. And then we just use the sign on this term, which was a positive 4, put it here, put the positive here, and then find the square root of this thing. So when you square root a square, you're left back with whatever that thing was. So 4 divided by 2 was just 2. That's where this 2 comes from. And we made a square out of it here and here. Same thing, when we square this, 4 times 4 works out to be 16. And 2 times 2 works out to be 4. 16 divided by 4 is just 4. So that's where this 4 comes from. And then 7 take away 4 gives us that 3. And we're done.